It's 6 in the morning and we're getting started out of the Ethan Pond shelter. Last night it rained hard for at least the first half of the night. Today, as you can see by the picture of the pond, it looks gorgeous. So there were just 3 of us in the shelter there last night. We were glad that a bunch of wet folks didn't show up about 9 o'clock. But no use putting on any kind of dry clothes. You're just going to get right back into it today. So the plan today is to do 10 miles to the Nauman campsite, and that'll set us up for the assault over Mount Washington. Yeah, so during last night's rains, new leaks would appear periodically in the shelter and be dripping on us. So there was a lot of scrambling about trying to mitigate drips, relocate sleeping pads, etc. But, and then I woke up this morning and a new one had appeared, but had barely missed my sleeping bag and had instead dropped several large drops on my ground cloth that I had down to protect everything. So I got lucky there. And there was a mouse running around. We heard him several times. And the 2 other guys woke up and spotlighted him a little bit. The bear box was some distance from the tent and required a trip in the rain to go put it up and get it. Not get it this morning, it wasn't raining, but last night was unpleasant. At any rate, if the weather is good, I need to get a new report, and I'll actually be able to sleep in my tent tonight, which would be wonderful. And then after the 10 today and the 15 over the top, it's just a couple miles to the highway to get picked up for my next scheduled 0. So I'm going to soldier through this, and we should be in decent shape. If I need a little more food, I was told by the caretaker at the last shelter that Mount Washington has quite a bit of food there on top in the store, so I can get more. All right, well, trudging on, but fortunately nothing too bad yet. Once we got out of the bog near the shelter, it's been fairly pleasant. That was a really pleasant surprise. I came down the mountain to the road and there was Knuckles and her partner. And Knuckles, we met several times on the PCT, and she got in touch with Christy and tried to figure out when I'd be coming down the mountain and set up trail magic. So I got some apple pastries and some coffee and a Gatorade. Oh, it's just wonderful, and caught up on all kinds of things. And they're both science people, so we had some nice discussions, kind of off-trail topic. Beautiful. Well, life is wonderful, and you never know when something joyous like that's going to happen. So be ready and open for it. It'll come to you. Here's our information. So the Mitzpah Spring AMC hut and campsites is where we're going. 5.7. Mount Washington is 12.5. And Katahdin is 332. So we climbed up this waterfall, and we still got to go straight up there. Whew, good climb for the morning. We haven't even made it to the top of our first mountain yet. We still got almost a mile to get to the top of Webster, which is the first mountain. So we've been climbing. We have to see what the total elevation is when I get up there. Okay, as the sign says, the Mid-Spa Hut's about 3 miles. Wow, that climb? Yeah, I'm gonna give that one the edge over Lehigh Gap. You were hanging out in space a lot, and actually there's a lot more hand over hand kind of bouldering than past climbs, so very interesting. All right, onward. Yeah, we've been seeing a lot of stuff like this today. Have to get up. We've reached the top of Mount Jackson, and now it's we'll probably have a steep descent, but it's 1.7 miles to the campsite. So I think the worst of the climbing's out of the way. Little bog action up here. Mid-Spa Hut, 200 feet. Nice. I am ready to rest. It's 3:30 and the Serenity Shuttle has landed at the Mid-Spa Hut / Nauman tent site at Trail Mile 1858. It was a 9.2 mile day, but it was challenging anyway, even though it was supposed to be short. A lot of vertical rock scramblings, etc. So yeah, I got probably the most technical climb of the trip so far, and probably the hardest day of climbing, I think, altogether. So we've got about 5-6 miles to the peak of Mount Washington, over and over tomorrow for a 15-mile day. They tell me the descent is excruciating, but it must be done. So that's why we're going to try to get to sleep early tonight and be ready for tomorrow. Maybe even start with a headlamp in the morning to make sure we got plenty of time. So got some great views today. Marvelous. Ran into Knuckles and her partner, an old friend from the PCT, who gave me some great trail magic. So thanks, Knuckles. And thanks for planning secretly with Christy to make that happen. That's beautiful. Okay, well, thanks for hiking with me, and remember, we're doing the impossible. That makes us mighty.